June 28, 1914, a peaceful Sunday morning in Sarajevo. Hello, and welcome to History Archive. The sun casts a warm, golden glow over the city, its rays filtering through the soft morning haze. On the cobblestone streets, life unfolds at a gentle, unhurried pace. Horse-drawn carriages clatter softly, their sounds mingling with the distant chime of church bells and the murmur of early risers. Men in starched collars and bowler hats read their morning papers, while women in long skirts and elegant hats exchange pleasantries on their way to the market. This is the capital of Bosnia, a province recently annexed by the sprawling Austro-Hungarian Empire. For most of its citizens, it's a day like any other. The air is filled with the aroma of fresh bread from local bakeries and strong coffee brewing in the cafes that line the Miljaska River. Children play in the alleyways, their laughter echoing against the ornate facades of European-style buildings, a testament to the empire's influence. There's a sense of tranquility, of ordinary life proceeding as it always has. The city is awake, but calm, unaware that it stands on the precipice of history. But beneath this serene surface, a quiet tension hums. Sarajevo, a melting pot of cultures and faiths, Serbs, Croats, Bosniaks, living side by side, yet divided by simmering nationalist aspirations. For some, the empire is a symbol of stability and progress. For others, it's an occupying force, a suppressor of their dreams for an independent South Slavic state. Today, the city is preparing for a special event. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, is scheduled for a royal visit. The route is lined with expectant crowds and a noticeable, if somewhat relaxed, police presence. Imperial flags flutter alongside local banners. For the authorities, it's a chance to display the unity and loyalty of the empire's newest subjects. For the people, it's a spectacle, a break from the routine, a chance to glimpse the future emperor and his wife, Sophie. The royal couple's motorcade is set to travel along the Apple Quay, a main thoroughfare running parallel to the river. The schedule has been published in the newspapers for days. Everyone knows where they will be and when. This transparency, intended as a gesture of confidence, will prove to be a fatal miscalculation. Hidden among the cheering crowds are several young men, their pockets heavy not with curiosity, but with bombs and pistols. They are members of a secret society, fueled by fervent nationalism and a burning desire for freedom from Austrian rule. They see the Archduke not as a royal visitor, but as the living embodiment of their oppression. Today, they are not here to watch a parade. They are here to ignite a revolution. As the morning wears on, the atmosphere grows thick with anticipation. The sun climbs higher, burning off the last of the morning mist. The sounds of an approaching motorcade begin to drift through the streets. The crowds press forward, craning their necks for a better view. The first car appears, then another. And in the third, an open-top limousine, sits the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, waving graciously to the people of Sarajevo. He is smiling, relaxed, completely oblivious to the fact that his journey through this seemingly peaceful city is a journey towards destiny. In these final moments of calm, history holds its breath. The world, blissfully unaware, continues its Sunday morning routine. But here, on this sun-drenched street in Sarajevo, a single act of violence is about to shatter the peace, not just of this city, but of the entire continent. The gears of fate are turning, and the path to a global catastrophe is being paved, one cobblestone at a time. This peaceful morning is the calm before a storm that will reshape the world forever. The Great War is about to begin. It's a day meant for celebration, for bridging divides between the empire and its Slavic subjects. But beneath the surface, a dangerous current of nationalism is about to break through. Suddenly, a deafening explosion shatters the air. A bomb, meant for the Archduke's car, detonates nearby, injuring onlookers and an officer. Panic erupts. The procession is thrown into chaos, but the Archduke, remarkably, is unharmed. He insists on continuing his visit, a decision driven by duty and perhaps a touch of defiance. He wants to visit the wounded in the hospital. This fateful choice would seal not only his own destiny, but the destiny of an entire continent. The driver, confused by the change of plans, takes a wrong turn, a fatal mistake. As the car attempts to reverse on a narrow street, it stalls. And right there, standing on the corner, is another young man, barely 19 years old. His name is Gavrilo Princip. He had given up, thinking the plot had failed. Now, impossibly, his target is right in front of him, a sitting duck. He sees his chance, the moment he has been waiting for. He raises his pistol. Time seems to stretch and warp. The first shot hits Sophie. The second finds the Archduke, a freeze frame in history, a moment of shocking violence that would echo for generations. These two gunshots in a provincial city street didn't just end to lives. They were the spark that lit the most catastrophic fire the world had ever seen. Within hours, the news spread like wildfire across the capitals of Europe. In the dimly lit, smoke-filled rooms of Vienna, Berlin, and St. Petersburg, the gears of diplomacy and war began to turn. Telegrams flew back and forth, each one carrying ultimatums and threats. The assassination provided the perfect pretext for Austria-Hungary to settle its score with Serbia, which it blamed for fueling the nationalist fervor. The complex web of alliances, carefully constructed over decades for protection, now became a doomsday machine. Russia, seeing itself as the protector of the Slavic peoples, began to mobilize its massive army to support Serbia. Germany, bound by treaty to Austria-Hungary, issued a blank check promising unconditional support. France, allied with Russia, prepared for a conflict it had long anticipated. And Britain, initially hesitant, was drawn in when Germany invaded neutral Belgium to outflank French forces. The July crisis, as it came to be known, was a month-long cascade of ultimatums, mobilizations, and declarations of war. Leaders, trapped by their own rhetoric, military timetables, and national pride, found themselves unable to step back from the brink. They believed the war would be short, a jolly little war over by Christmas. They couldn't have been more wrong. What followed was not a swift, glorious conflict, but 4 years of unprecedented slaughter. World War I, the Great War, the war to end all wars. It introduced the horrors of trench warfare, poison gas, and industrial-scale killing. An entire generation of young men was lost in the mud and barbed wire of the Western and Eastern fronts. The world map was redrawn. For great empires, the Austro-Hungarian, the German, the Russian, and the Ottoman crumbled into dust. The political, social, and psychological landscape of the world was altered forever. And it all began on that sunny June day in Sarajevo, with a wrong turn and fatal shots. One death, leading to endless consequences that we still feel to this day. Austria-Hungary was outraged. They saw the hand of their rival, Serbia, behind the assassination. They issued a list of demands so harsh that Serbia could never fully accept them. This was the spark. Vienna wanted to crush Serbian nationalism once and for all. But this was more than a local dispute. The great powers of Europe were bound together by a series of interlocking treaties, a political house of cards just waiting for a breeze to knock it down. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, offered a blank check of unconditional support, urging swift action against Serbia. On the other side, Russia saw itself as the protector of the Slavic peoples, including the Serbs. Mobilizing its massive army to defend Serbia would be seen as a direct threat to Germany and Austria-Hungary. As the telegraph wires buzzed across the continent, a diplomatic crisis spiraled out of control. Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and his cousin, Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany, exchanged a series of frantic telegrams, affectionately known as the Willy-Nicky correspondence. They pleaded with each other to show restraint, but the military machines they commanded were already in motion. The generals and war plans, developed over decades, had a momentum of their own. It was a domino effect on a continental scale. On July 28th, exactly 1 month after the assassination, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. In response, Russia began its full mobilization. Germany, feeling threatened onto France, declared war on Russia on August 1st. 2 days later, they declared war on Russia's ally, France, and launched their armies through neutral Belgium to outflank the French defenses. This invasion of Belgium was the final straw for Great Britain. Bound by a treaty to protect Belgian neutrality, London issued an ultimatum to Germany. When it expired without a response, the British Empire entered the conflict. "The lamps are going out all over Europe," lamented the British Foreign Secretary. "We shall not see them lit again in our lifetime." What began as a single act of political violence in Sarajevo had, in just over a month, plunged an entire continent into chaos. The great empires, so confident in their power and prestige, were now locked in a struggle for survival. Millions of men marched off to what they believed would be a short, glorious war, home by Christmas. They had no idea they were stepping into the abyss of the Great War, a conflict that would redraw the map of the world and leave a scar on the human soul that has yet to fully heal. Thank you for watching. If you found this dive into history compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that shaped our world. We'll see you in the next one.